All right, so hear me out. I think that this is one of the best summers style-wise that I can remember. You know, I don't know if it's just my eye is changing as far as what I'm buying. I'm really paying attention to the weight of items, patterns. I don't know. I really feel like there's a lot of different options out there right now. There's good brands, and I'm just kind of hyped on certain trends right now, which is a good thing. You can be into trends. I don't think you should go all in with everything and change your whole wardrobe to whatever the newest trend is, but you can dabble. This one is kind of just a challenge to me to narrow it down to only 5 things. Just 5 items that I'm really hyped on right now. Essentials to me are clothing items that I plan to wear a lot or have been wearing a lot. Anyway, enough with my long-winded intro. Let's do this. Okay, first up, we have probably the most on-trend item for summer 2022. It was building up. It had been popular years prior, but I knew that this was gonna be the summer of camp collar shirts. But before we even go any further, let me know if you guys are into these. Have you added camp collar shirts to your wardrobe yet? Have you had some of these in your closet for a while? Were you late to the game? I might do a video on my top 5, that's why I'm asking. This particular one is from Ralph Lauren. Now, mall brands and fast fashion have been all over these for a long time, and they crank them out. But the problem with most of those shirts is the quality is average at best. Some of them are just downright cheap and bad quality. I'll show you one in a minute. So I thought, okay, I've got a couple of those. Let me invest in a nice high quality camp collar shirt. So this one is from Ralph Lauren. I picked up a few, but man, this is by far my favorite one that I've ever picked up. Okay, let me just show you this real quick. This is like one of those examples of a cheap one. And in person, like I got. Can you see my hand? Like it is see-through. This is unfortunately nipples out. You are nipples out in this thing if you don't wear an undershirt. And I'm not sure if that's the look that all you guys are going for or not, but me, not really. I've got it here on the plastic hanger, so I know, listen, this guy does not deserve wooden hanger treatment. I was really let down by this shirt, unfortunately. So the retail price on this is 168 bucks. Very expensive. It is pricey for what it is. But I have to say, the quality is absolutely on point as it should be. For one, the pattern is unlike anything I've ever found. It almost goes well with that painting in my background. The material on here is a premium linen. Now, linen kind of gets a bad rap because it's been pimped out a little bit. It was also in a lot of fast fashion stores, and cheap linen wrinkles like no other. That's the worst part about it. It has this like over wrinkly look. I wanted to get something nice. I wanted to get something premium, and this pattern just really makes this shirt an absolute home run. Sorry to go so far in on just one shirt, but I absolutely love this one. If this is still available, I'll link it for you down in the description. I am 6'2", 185. This is a size large. It is the custom fit, and it fits me pretty well. Okay, so no stranger to my closet are vintage Champion jerseys. I found this one online. It's blank, which is kind of rare. I feel like it makes it that much more unique. Champion jerseys are absolutely flooded out there. They were popular for a decade strong. So on the vintage secondary market, there are plenty still out there, and you can find them for the low. I think I found this for 30 bucks. I've gotten some for 25 free ship, like no brainer. And why I wanted North Carolina is because obviously I have a lot of UNC Jordans, Jordan brand, you know the affiliation there, but I've bought a fair amount of those pairs, so I wanted a jersey to go with it, but something blank and vintage like this makes it such a unique combination in my opinion. I like to rock Champion jerseys instead of a tank top most of the time. I feel like they just have obviously more detail, more color, and they're a little bit more breathable. Okay, and some shorts that I've been wearing with this jersey are from Nike ACG. Check these out. These are some of the best shorts that you can buy. I've featured them a bunch of different times. I didn't include them in my top 10 summer shorts list because I've mentioned them so much, but here I am talking about them again. I really think it is super important to get patterns into your shorts, patterns into your shirts, everywhere. It is the summer of patterns. Put them anywhere. Anywhere you want to wear a nice pattern, rock it. So if you've never had a pair of Nike ACG shorts, they're wide, they're baggy, they have a short inseam. This is a 5-inch inseam, deep pockets, they're nice quality, and they're really thin. And while we're talking about shorts, I'm sorry, this is going to be like the 6th item or something, but Utah Jazz, Mitchell and Ness, these didn't come in time for my shorts video, so I wanted to include them here. Look at the colors and the detail on here. Absolutely love it. If you're really into blank white or black tees with white Air Force Ones, throw on some Mitchell and Ness shorts and they will be the standout piece of an outfit like that. So I wanted to keep this just about clothing, but as I'm editing the video, I'm like, how am I not showing a sneaker? How is there not a sneaker in this video? So I'm gonna show you one just real quick because it just showed up. You probably already know the box. This is the Ame Leondor and New Balance collaboration. Look at these things. Beautiful. I don't want to go ahead and say that this is the most popular New Balance model right now because there's probably the 990 V3 or V4, but the 991 is certainly gaining some popularity here in the States. The way that the tongue is so big on this sneaker, it almost reminds me of like a skate shoe. If any of you were ever skaters at one point, you know that some of them have a big puffy tongue like this. They're expensive, they're like $245, and if that is way too much for you to spend on a shoe, then look into the Air Max 1. I don't know if these are reselling or not, but you should be able to get a pair for like $140, $150 or something like that. This is a summertime colorway for the more conservative person that really likes that material, really likes that story, 991s. For the person that wants to flash a little bit, be a little bit loud, but still have a nice pair of sneakers, that's a classic. Air Max 1s right here. I'm literally right in the middle of both of these shoes as far as my style goes, so either one works for me. And I showed you guys that polo button up earlier from Ralph Lauren. Listen, Ame Leondor, I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a rant, but a lot of Ame Leondor designs are inspired by older Ralph designs. So if you think that Ame is too expensive for the clothing, look at older Ralph, look at vintage Ralph, look what they have online right now, and you can get that same look. It's just not gonna be as hyped. Okay, and this is gonna sound a little bit wild, but hear me out. I've got a vintage Nike Windbreaker on here, and you're like, it's the summertime, I'm not wearing anything long sleeve, but there will be that day that it's like 90 degrees, and then all of a sudden the clouds and the thunderstorms roll in the afternoon, there's a little bit of a drizzle going down, and you're wearing like a gray t-shirt, and all of a sudden the raindrops are on your shirt, and you're like, dang, this went from a hot day to me being wet and uncomfortable. If you just invest 30 or 40 bucks, you can go and get a vintage Nike Windbreaker like this, which has extremely thin material. This is like next to nothing. Having this either in your backpack or your backseat of your car, just ready to go, it's a really nice option because it's so colorful. So often when I throw one of these on, I get asked, is that vintage? Where'd you get that? Okay, and last up, everyone talks about vintage tees. By now, you know, there's a lot of vintage on this list. I wasn't planning on that. I know everyone says go buy vintage tees, vintage is where it's at, etc. But a lot of people making these videos, they don't give you much direction. What are you telling people to do? Go online and just search vintage tee and hopefully something cool comes up? Some direction for you. Think about a location. Think about somewhere you go every summer. Maybe it's a family vacation. Maybe it's a vacation you have planned that you haven't been, and search for a vintage tee for that location. An example, I go to Nantucket, you know, every year, maybe every other year or so, and it's one of my favorite places to go. It's an island off of Massachusetts, by the way. Beautiful place. If you go into any of the stores on Nantucket, you're not finding anything like this. Everything about this shirt makes it 20 times better than any of those souvenir shops that you're gonna go into. Those tourist traps on the front of a Gildan shirt, and it says Nantucket, it says Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying. You gotta avoid those tourist traps, and why not buy a shirt like this before you go to that location. I'm gonna do a whole video on vintage t-shirts. That's a fact. Just what I look for, how I buy them, etc. This video has been way too long for only 5 things. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new around here, and a lot more summer content is on the way. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you later. Peace.